Yo guys, what is up? What's going on? So a question that I get asked quite a bit is in regards to just driving the 2016 WRX that I own in the winter, and just kind of my thoughts on winter driving the WRX, because there are people out there that park their Subarus for the winter in their garage, and then there's other people that daily drive them all the time throughout the winter, just like I do. So with driving the WRX in the winter, obviously it's a really great car in the snow. The Subaru all-wheel drive system is really known for its capabilities, and for driving in the winter and in the snow, it just does a really great job. But there are a couple things that I really don't like about driving this WRX in the winter. The first thing that I don't like about driving this WRX in the winter is just the fact that where I live, we have pretty drastic temperature changes. So it'll snow a lot, and then the temperature will swing and it'll get really warm the next day. And what happens is that dump of snow then just suddenly melts, and the roads just become super muddy, slushy, full of rocks and gravel, and just really dirty. And so the Subaru obviously drives through all of the snow really well, but something that you don't really think about is, especially with the color white, is how it affects your car's paint. What's happened with my WRX is that the snow and the mud and the slush over the past couple of years has gotten just on the front of my car so much that it's actually kind of permanently stained the clear 3M protective layer that I have, which thank God I have that on there, or else it might have been the paint. So I can always get it redone. It's just a bit expensive, but you can really notice it. I'll show you guys here in a moment. The front end of my car is all basically kind of a little bit yellow tint to it, so it doesn't look that great because of the fact that it's gotten stained over the past few years. I'm rolling up to literally my favorite car wash that I always go to. I don't really film videos in here now because I've done so many, but there's not much sense in washing my car right now, other than the only fact being that I am hoping that by washing it a little bit more often, even when it's like this really crappy weather we have, it will help mitigate some of the, I guess, buildup of the salt and the grime on the car and underneath and in the wheel wells. So this car wash has like an underspray, which is nice. You can kind of see it getting on the window. Go over that nice and slow. So really the yellowing of the hood isn't particularly related to the Subaru, right? Like, it's not the Subaru's fault that it does that. It's just kind of the climate where I live, and perhaps I need to seal up the 3M better or detail it better. It's kind of tricky to detail 3M protection though, but the other thing that I really don't like about winter driving the WRX is the ride height, actually. Even the OEM factory ride height is actually pretty low, depending on where you live and how much snow you get. Here, I haven't had any trouble ever before getting stuck with the WRX. The all-wheel drive always works really good, with the exception being when the snow gets so deep that the ruts in the middle of the roadways where the wheels don't go, so in the middle, get so high and so deep that the front bumper begins to drag on it, which you kind of like snow plow. But then if you get high centered on that snow and it gets packed down really, really tight, and it's hard when the car gets on that, you can get high centered and get stuck. Now that's the only time, I think twice, I've ever been stuck in 3 years with the WRX, and that's just related to ride height. So if I were to go coilovers and really lower it, you know, I'd have to adjust that in the summer and winter months, because in the winter I wouldn't want it to be lower. I'd actually want it to be higher if possible. I'll play a dash cam clip here for you now from a few weeks ago where I was out driving one early morning the back roads. Now what happened on that road was that road was not plowed yet, and it was so deep that when I tried to drive into it, there was so much resistance from the snow pushing that at one point the car stalled because I was kind of, you know, feathering the clutch a little bit to try and get through it, and the wheels just got stuck from the snow and the amount of force. And then I was risking getting high centered from how deep the snowdrifts were, that I kind of turned back and didn't proceed down that road because it would have just gotten stuck, and it would have been pretty crappy being out there by myself stuck early in the morning. Now the all-wheel drive system on the WRX is of course fantastic. It just works really good, as you would expect from really any Subaru out there, and that combined with good winter tires like the Gizlovs that I'm running, or really any other good winter tire brand, and then just driver common sense, really all tied together to make the WRX such an unstoppable winter driver. It's just such a great car to drive in the winter. Now there are people out there that think all-wheel drive cars and winter tires relate to being able to stop, and that's quite a common misconception. Really, driver common sense is one of the biggest things when it comes to driving on really icy conditions. You know, you don't want to come up to a stop sign or a turn and start your braking as you're turning, or wait till it's too last minute and forget that you're on really icy roads, and really the all-wheel drive system isn't going to help you in that case, and having a Subaru isn't going to help you in that case. So you got to have the good common sense and just not drive stupidly. You know, just because you have a Subaru, you can't just drive like an idiot in the winter. So those are kind of some of the things that I like about the WRX in the winter, and then some of the things that I don't really like. I've honestly been DM'd this question on Instagram like 5 times within the past 2 weeks, which is what gave me the idea for this video. So if you're watching and you were wondering about that, I hope that these thoughts I've given you help you a bit in your decision if you're out there looking at Subarus or something like that. Otherwise, I hope that this video was enjoyable, and if you have any other questions, feel free to leave a comment down below. I'll of course answer it. Also, by the way, I forgot to mention, I still have a lot of the silver ISM, the pure red, the hyper blue, and the DGM WRX NSTI mini decals that we made. The die cuts that are like 3 by 2 inches. They look super awesome. The World Rally Blue and the Crystal White Pearls sold out like within the first day. They're so fast. Like I was packaging them all up. It took me like 3 hours that evening, but I got them all out. So if you have one of the other colors and you want that, those are still left, and I'm gonna actually restock the white and blue colors here in the next couple of weeks. So if you missed out, stay tuned. I'll probably post it over on my Instagram. The link's down below. As always, guys, thanks so much for watching, and I hope you're having a great day or night, whatever it is where you are.